Lamalera, a remote village of 2,500 people on the southern coast of Lembata Island, one of the Sunda Islands in Indonesia. The people here follow the rhythm of the whales, which swim off the coast from May to November, as they migrate from the Indian Ocean to the Pacific. The age-old hunt has not changed in centuries. But they have not caught a single sperm whale for several months. Lamalera is dying quietly, and no one is paying attention.
We saw a big whale today. We paddled. It surfaced and then dove, surfacing once again and diving again. We were tired, so we came back. Maybe tomorrow or the day after tomorrow, we'll see it again, and then we'll get to work. We're praying for that.
The supplies are dwindling. A few strips of fat and pieces of meat are still drying in the sun. This is how the Lamalerans conserve their precious catch. They never sell any part of a whale. Instead, they barter pieces for fruit, vegetables, and tobacco. The village is self-sufficient, avoiding the temptations of globalization. And this is exactly what worries Joseph, the harpooner. His wife, Ibu Maria, shares his concern. The sarongs she weaves and sells will not be enough to feed the family.
This year is hard. There are no whales. If the whales don't come anymore, we will die. If we only have small fish, we'll barely survive. It's not the same as with the whales. Lamalera is completely dependent on the whales. The money to pay for school comes from the whales. When the whales arrive, we're happy. If they don't come, we're not happy.
The whole village is in tune with the forge. The men are focused entirely on hunting, which includes making harpoon heads, so that the sacred link binding the people to the whale is never broken. This is what Michael Bataona, a journalist in Kupang, who was born on the island, is fighting for.
The whale and the Lamalera villagers are one. A single spirit, a single soul. The people of Lamalera may live or die. Everything depends on the whale.
While waiting for the whales, they restore the sails of the tena. The Lamalerans know that their boats have souls. Even if they change or completely rebuild one, the original name will never change.
These boats of ours are alive. This tradition has been part of us since our ancestral time, from our fathers down to us.
Ignatius is Joseph's father. Standing firm on the bow of his clan's boat, he was once the brave harpooner of the Demo Sapang, the Star of the Seas.
Each clan owns a boat, and for us who live in Lamalera, this boat is alive. It will be passed on to our children, our grandchildren, our descendants. This boat and this tradition cannot disappear.
Scanning the seas constantly, looking for a whale to spout. It's a waste of time. Ignatius knows it. Something out of the ordinary is happening. Behind this plume of black smoke is the enemy, an insidious and powerful one, straight from a neighboring island.
Those are bombs. Did you hear? Those are bombs.
Police already raided them, but didn't catch them. The villagers of Lamalera are angry. Everyone is angry. How can they come fish here using dynamite? The government has already banned this type of fishing, banned these techniques. So why do the people of Lamalera come here with bombs? We are very angry. We can't work. We can't go to sea because they are fishing with dynamite everywhere.
They have to stop blast fishing permanently in the Lamalera region.
The curse has a name, Lamalera. What to do? The survival of an entire village is at stake. For the old Ignatius, more than anything, it's about the survival of his clan, his son, and his family.
Evening, Ignatius. Did you just get here?
Yes, I just arrived.
Please sit down. Have some tuak.
Living here in Lamalera is very difficult. I've saved some money. We have to go to Larantuka to buy a motor. I'll put it on the boat to hunt dolphins and manta rays at sea, so that I have food for my wife and my children.
This year was very difficult because the whales didn't come. We didn't catch any. It's very hard. It's very hard to feed my family. I love our traditions. I also like the idea of having a motor. It's good for our lives, for our families.
I am a harpooner. I love to go to sea with paddles, but now we have to go far to find any fish. This is why I want to buy a motor. What do you think about it?
Pikiran saya juga senang. I like the idea of Joseph buying a motor. Even if it's expensive, we have to buy one. He will bring one back, but we will still keep following our traditions. We will use the motor at the same time. We like them both.
Mr. Durus, I have come because we have a problem in our village. The whales are not coming. And in our village, if they don't come, we are hungry.
The whales always used to show up, but this year maybe they didn't come because of the people from Lamalera who throw too many bombs. They bother the whales. Later on, we'll go to the old village to perform a ceremony, like the ancients used to do.
Battling fatigue, the waves, and the current, Joseph and his crew don't have any other choice than to paddle for an entire day as far as Larantuka, a small seaport on the eastern shore of the island of Flores.
Wajoral padre mionakri. Kamalata huru fai kadlolo fai.
To understand the relationship between the whales and the people of Lamalera, you have to understand its history. The Lamalerans have traditions that affect the nature around them and have an impact on their lives. If they want to catch whales every year, they have to perform a traditional ceremony. It's proof of the relationship between the whale and the Lamalerans. They are a single spirit.
Sharing the meat from a sacrificed rooster and drinking tuak. Ignatius's ancestors also did this to bring the whales back.
Whalestone, tell our ancestors from heaven to earth that we need the whales to come so that our village can have enough to eat because we are poor and we are hungry.
Taisa.
Harpooners have a belief. They can harpoon very large whales, even with a boat as small as this one, which is smaller than a whale. But despite everything, the whale can die in an hour or two using traditional equipment. This means that the whale is a reincarnation of the ancestors. It has a spirit that understands the language of humans. It can listen to the stories of the Lamalerans.
That day, on August 3rd, 1983, my arm was cut off. I swam to get back to the boat. There were coiled ropes and my arm got caught on one of those ropes. I was dragged deep underwater. In the water, I gave myself up to God. I didn't know if I would live or die. Only God could help me survive until someone came to save me. After my accident, another man was injured. The rope was wound around his leg. They had to cut it off, but he's still alive today.
Larantuka, finally.
It's so big, it could never come to Lamalera.
The last time Joseph came here, it was to attend Holy Week, which brought together no less than 15,000 pilgrims from all over Indonesia. This Catholic event, held since the 17th century, celebrates both the Portuguese heritage and the Queen of the Rosary, the city's patron saint.
Try to open it.
It's used. Yes, used.
Is it any good?
Yes, it's okay. So you agree on 5 million rupiah?
Can we bargain?
Yes, we can. How much?
A little more than 2 million.
Oh, no, I can't. Let's go for 4,500,000.
Okay.
4,500,000. 5 million minus 500,000, that makes 4,500,000, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
A pioneer lives in Lamalera. Stephanus was one of the first to equip his boat with a powerful motor. That was 9 years ago. With the help from his brother, who lives in Jakarta, he was able to acquire a piece of the modern world and at the same time revolutionize fishing.
In past years, there weren't many motors, just 1 or 2. Now there are too many motors. People are happy because they don't have to paddle anymore. Hardly anyone uses paddles now, except when there's a whale and they go to sea on the tenas. Before, we didn't have any expenses, any costs. But now, with all these motors, we have a lot. Before, everything depended on the wind and on our energy, and it didn't cost anything. Now we have to have a motor, and it's expensive to keep up.
While waiting for the whales, I have to go out to sea, using the motor to find fish, dolphin, manta ray. Any fish I find, I have to catch, so that I can feed my family.
Fishing with a motor, with a tenna or an outrigger, is not the same thing. The tenna is the best. As for myself, I like it when we have to use the paddles. I don't like motors. Right now, I'm making a small boat to go out for small fish, either using a line or a net. This is what I do. I learned to do this with my parents. When I left school, my father taught me how to work. When I have to go find food, I know what to do.
My father wants to follow the traditions of our ancestors. Myself, I like to follow my father, but I have to have a motor to earn more money. This way, my father earns some money, and my wife and children too. Everyone is happy.
It's true that young people don't want to paddle anymore. They really want to use motors. If I ask them to come out to sea using paddles, they don't want to follow me. There are really big changes going on right now. They like motors, but I don't like them.
Ya, saya senang sekali. Ada mesin. Bagus. Ai.
Equipped with a motor, the Villana can glide through the water at full speed, following a pod of dolphins. The hunting technique is the same, but Joseph has to be an acrobat, standing alone on the bow of the boat. The dolphins are smart, and especially very fast. Nothing. Today, for their first outing at sea, the Villana and her crew will come home empty-handed.
The police? They're looking for people from Lamalera who are blast fishing. They're investigating over there. That means the bombs might stop. That means the fish will come back. The dolphins, the manta rays. Joseph won't give up. He wants to catch a dolphin, no matter what. In a flash, the harpooner has spotted his prey. And it's not a dolphin that's been captured, but a mola mola, an ocean sunfish, an exceptional catch. The mola mola lives in deep water and comes to the surface to feed on jellyfish. It's one of the heaviest fish in the world. It can weigh over 1 ton. This time, Joseph is confident and flings himself into a school of tuna, which are too busy hunting to sense the danger. A tuna was harpooned, but it escaped. The battle is far from over.
Harpooned again, the tuna still hasn't been reeled in. Risking everything, Joseph orders one of his crew to jump into the water.
The people who have motors are the ones who divide up the catch of fish. On the Tena, the way of distributing the fish is still traditional. It's the type of sharing we inherited from our ancestors, and it's a fair system. The new economic model does not allow for sharing with everyone.
We catch a lot with a motor, but it's not the same if we catch a whale. Then everyone in Lamalera, but also people living in the hills, can have a share. People bring back a lot using the motor, but they keep it for themselves. They don't share with the widows. In the past, with the Tena, we shared with the widows, with the family. But with the motors, it's the owner who keeps everything. He doesn't share with the widows. With the motors, we depend on the owners to give us a bit to eat. It was different before. Today it's like this.
Essie, set the table. Dinner's almost ready. For us who live in Lamalera, when we're waiting for the whales, we don't farm the land. So when we have a motor, instead of waiting for the whales, we can still go out fishing. When we return, we then have enough food to give our parents, our children, our women, our families.
Stephanus has been waiting a long time for this moment, and now it's here. His older brother, whom he hasn't seen for 13 years, the brother who left to live and work as a longshoreman in Jakarta. After traveling for several days, he has finally stepped onto the beach of his memories, his village, his arms loaded with gifts, with a wife and children.
I'm very happy because I can once again see everyone. They're still in good shape. I saw my mother, and I missed seeing her so much. After 13 years, I now have a wife and children. I can finally come back with them, and we're lucky to see each other again. Mama is lucky to be able to hold her grandchildren.
You two later. You'll hunt whales.
We will go hunt whales together, okay?
I want to go back.
But where do you want to go?
This time, I can see changes with the modernization. I see that people are living more easily. There are some people using motors to fish at sea rather than the traditional boats. It's easier, so why not? But the problem is that our heritage is disappearing. We have to protect our traditions and our culture. But the modernization and globalization movement is drastic. It levels everything out. And for the future generations, our traditions will have disappeared. This is why we are worried.
The whales are invisible from the shore, so the fishermen have decided to go out to sea to find them. According to tradition, a motor cannot be put on a tenna, so the men will head out using a sail and paddles, several miles off the coast. A long wait begins. Once again, the sperm whales remain invisible. The sun will soon set. The hunters have to return home. Nearly 500 years ago, the ancestors of these sailors followed the same route, also navigating aboard a tenna, guided by the stars. These vagabonds of the sea were originally from the island of Sulawesi and moved to an island not far from here. Ousted by an earthquake, battered by a tidal wave, they took to the sea and found refuge here. They made a pact with the Lembada, traditionally known as the Lords of the Land, and moved to a plot of hostile land that no one else wanted.
Only imbeciles want to live in Lamalera. But if our ancestors were stupid, they would never have moved here. Because here there are rocks everywhere. There are rocks in every little place. Manioc doesn't even grow in Lamalera. Corn won't grow here either, or apples. And I don't even know what else. It doesn't make sense for people to live here. But then how did they survive?
The newcomers knew how to make pottery, and they used harpoon heads made of hard wood to fish. The people of Lembada were not fishermen, but they knew how to forge iron. So the two communities exchanged techniques. And as part of their agreements, the traveling fishermen earned the right to construct a village on the beach. And that's how Lamalera was born. The newcomers adopted the local language, Lamahalot. Using iron harpoons, they became excellent hunters and bartered whale meat for fruit and vegetables produced by local farmers. They were also able to trade for clay pots after teaching locals the technique. In 1920, a German missionary brought the Catholic faith to the island. Relics from traditional beliefs and the bones of ancestors were buried forever under the newly constructed church. It's dawn in Lamalera, the moment the net fishermen return to the beach. Using the motor, they fished far off the coast in the middle of the night. Joseph and his crew watch this strange show which grows larger with every year. Dolphins, rays, sharks. The catch now includes dozens of fish every day.
I don't like to trawl or fish with a net because they are not traditional techniques.
Here, we're used to fishing with nets at night. We don't usually do it during the day. By day, it's only to attract the flying fish. People net fish for money. But if the whales show up, everyone goes out hunting. I'm sure our ancestors would cry if they saw our situation today. Because now, it's hard for people to live. Because there are no more whales. It's only those people who fish with nets who bring back anything. The others have to buy food.
It's not so good with the net. What I like is the traditional fishing method, with just a harpoon.
This time it's an angler fish that succumbs to Joseph's harpoon. And what was unthinkable just a few years ago has now become possible. The motorized hunt lasts for many long minutes, leaving the manta ray no chance, no matter how large it is. The fishermen no longer talk about patience on the boats with paddles and sails, or luck, but instead, intensive hunting. And everything that can be fished will be, with no limits, and in the view of the Western world, beyond reasonable need. Yet the Lamalera fishermen have an entirely different vision of things.
If we catch whales or any other fish, we're happy. We can have anything if we catch fish, because here in Lamalera, there isn't anything else. No business, no factory. And these fish, what happens to them once they are caught? We eat them, and we love to eat them. That's it, no more than that.
Should we feel pity looking at a dolphin carcass, or should we understand the world as it is and not as we imagine it to be?
This is only to eat. There is no production here, there is nothing. When we catch an animal like this, it's to eat it. Our women and children are happy.
It's time for Ibu Maria, Joseph's wife, to barter a few kilograms of dried meat. The small Muslim village of Wulandoni is just 7 kilometers from Lamalera. It's Saturday, market day.
I like to come to this market. I come to get corn, bananas, manioc. I exchange it for fish. This market has existed for a long time, since our ancestors.
Once everyone has paid their entrance fee in kind, a whistle marks the start of the bartering.
My husband is very good at getting fish from the sea. He brings it to me and I come here to trade it. Every time I come, every Saturday, I barter until everything has been traded.
Day after day, month after month, the catch at Lamalera is growing larger and larger, thanks to the use of modern methods the fishermen now have. The bombs have gone silent in the distance. The Indonesian police did its job, burning and sinking 2 boats, jailing 3 fishermen from the village of Lamalera. But another, even more tragic fate has just struck Lamalera. A few years ago, whale hunting caught the attention of environmental protection organizations. Today, they are extremely concerned about the hundreds of rays and dolphins that end up beached every year.
We have a regional project to create a marine reserve on Lembata, specifically in Lamalera. We are looking for an alternative to their lifestyle, a sustainable lifestyle for the fishermen of Lamalera. We don't know if there is overpopulation or drop in the local population, as with the manta ray and dolphin. In fact, we still do not have enough scientific data. Plus, the fishermen still catch them using traditional methods. And they don't use modern equipment, they still use harpoons.
The reserve and the WWF are deceiving us. They are deceiving people. It means that on the one hand, we are trying to build by protecting these traditions, and on the other, we are trying to do whatever it takes to survive, using modernization.
We have to concentrate on 2 goals of our program. First is environmental protection, particularly for whales. And then we have to pay attention to the local culture. Here, we are worried about what will happen in 10 or 20 years, because the local culture could disappear. Therefore, we are trying to create a link between protecting the sea and protecting the culture of the Lamalera community.
If this reserve happens, it would be a big problem, and we don't want it. If they ban fishing, how will we live?
We try to explain what the reserve is. The way the people think, their concept of the reserve, in truth, is not the same as ours.
If they won't let us fish, what will we do? Naturally, in Lamalera, we live off the sea, and if they ban fishing, we will not be able to make it.
The WWF people came with some big ideas. They don't understand that Lamalera is not a kind of corporation. And it's not a company that does business with the whale. It's a local community. The blood in its veins flows because of the whale.
The only goal of these charity organizations is to make this natural reserve. And for us here in Lamalera, we won't let them enter the village as long as this is the way it is, until we find a satisfactory solution for this reserve project.
The children have to go to school. But if we don't have the money, they have to leave school. Ever since the time of our ancestors, we have all been fishermen. But parents no longer want this future for their children. Because tomorrow or the next day, life will be even more difficult. It will soon be over. We have to pray to ask for help, so that God gives us His permission, so we don't end up with a ban. Otherwise, all the people of Lamalera will all die.
Praying to not die. Today the Lamalerans have no other choice but to follow their faith in the church and its guide, reigning like a harpooner on the bow of a tenor. Ignatius kept his word. He has finished his boat in time before the rough seas of winter arrive and can share the ancestral stone fishing technique with his grandson. As for Joseph, he can finally offer his wife and children a real house. Thanks to the motor, fishing has become profitable, and he sells the extra meat to the hillside villages. He has money. But for how long?
We have to refuse this reserve. Right now, we are thinking about the future. Therefore, we have to refuse. Now we're thinking that we have children and grandchildren, and we wonder, what will be their future? That is what we're thinking.
The sperm whales are rare these days. Animal protection organizations are pointing a finger at the slaughter of marine animals, which they view as excessive. And the Indonesian government intends to declare the waters of Lembata a wildlife sanctuary. The feats of the men of Lamalera will then become legendary. Unless Like their boats, they remain determined to live as they always have, so that they never die.
Lamalera murah.